Today, we're diving into the remake of Lords of the Fallen. Is this game worth playing? Well, stick around because we've got everything you need to know about it. So, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's take a trip down memory lane. Lords of the Fallen in 2014 tried to capture the magic of the Soulsborne games, but it fell a bit short. Fast forward to today, and we have the new Lords of the Fallen, acting as a reboot of the series. The big question is, can it stand tall among the Sea of Souls, like games that have flooded the market in recent years? Here's what I think. First off, let's talk about combat. The combat in the original game was a bit sluggish, but Hexworks has clearly learned from that experience. In the new game, combat feels responsive and faster-paced. Every move you make is a calculated risk, and dodge rolls become your lifeline. The boss fights and enemy encounters are a true test of your skill. A great example is the first boss, Pieta. She's a formidable opponent with a variety of attacks and phases, making the fight a real challenge. Now, let's talk character building. Lords of the Fallen offers a flexible RPG system reminiscent of the Souls series. You choose a class template at the start, but it doesn't lock you into a specific playstyle. Instead, it gives you a starting point and a direction you can explore as you progress. Like any good Souls-like, you gather currency by defeating enemies which you then use to level up at vestige checkpoints. Of course, there's that risk of losing it all when you die, which adds that extra layer of tension and challenge. Veterans of the genre will feel right at home, experimenting with different gear and optimizing their characters. Now, here's where the new Lords of the Fallen really shines: the dual worlds. Axiom, the land of the living, runs parallel to the Umbral realm, the land of the dead. This dynamic takes advantage of next-gen tech and affects both exploration and combat. In Axiom, you can use your Umbral lamp to peek into the Umbral realm, revealing hidden paths and secrets. But you can also fully transport yourself into the Umbral realm, which is dangerous and filled with undead enemies. The longer you stay there, the more powerful wraiths threaten you. This introduces a puzzle element to exploration and creates a constant tension that keeps you on your toes. One interesting twist is that when you die in Axiom, you immediately resurrect in the Umbral realm. This unique mechanic adds a layer of complexity to the game, making it challenging but also more forgiving than your typical Souls-like. It's a nice balance between difficulty and accessibility. Now let's talk story and world building. The new Lords of the Fallen introduces lore through brief cutscenes, audio logs, and esoteric dialogue. It's clear that it draws inspiration from the Souls series, and while it's too early to judge the depth of the narrative, it certainly has potential. Learning about characters and uncovering boss lore adds another layer of intrigue to the game. As you delve deeper into the game, you will encounter a variety of environments and bosses, each more menacing than the last. From a horseback riding knight in a murky swamp to a grotesque cave-dwelling boglord with rows of teeth, the game keeps you on your toes. The dark, atmospheric action RPG world is dense and full of malice, perfect for those who love exploration and a challenge. In a gaming landscape where Souls-likes have become commonplace, the new Lords of the Fallen may seem familiar in many ways. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes, a well-executed take on an established formula is exactly what we crave. And from what I know, Lords of the Fallen is doing it remarkably well. It offers the challenge, the depth, and the atmosphere that fans of the genre crave. So, is it worth playing? Well, from what I've seen, it's shaping up to be a solid addition to the Souls-like family. We'll have the final verdict when the game launches on October 13 for Xbox Series, PlayStation 5, and PC. That's all for today's review, folks. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more gaming content.